Yo, what is up guys, it's Cody. Welcome to my new and improved Stamina Warden build for the Horns of the Reach patch. Now in the previous build, we were running Witchman's. We have switched that out with Bone Pirate. What that has done is it has increased our stam recovery by about 150 and our stam by 6k. So we now have more damage on this build and more base stam recovery. We are still running Fury and we are still running Bloodspawn. Now there's 3 different ways of running this build, and I will show you how to run them. But I think the easiest way of achieving this build is by running what you see on screen right now. So we are in a 5-1-1 build, and we are running Bloodspawn Heavy head, a Bloodspawn Light shoulder, a medium Bone Pirate waist, and Fury chest, hands, legs, and feet. Bone Pirate jewelry, Bone Pirate weapons, and Fury shields. Now this is the best way of running the build, and this is the most optimal way of running it. Now I'm going to bring this over here. These are 2 other ways of running the build. Now, as you can see, this one's different. If you can't get your hands on Bone Pirate weapons for whatever reason, then there is running Fury weapon and shield. This is basically one of the ways of running it. Bone Pirate jewelry, Bone Pirate waist, and hands, Fury 3 pieces of armor, and Bloodspawn heavy head and shoulder. Now you have to have heavy Bloodspawn head and shoulder if you want to run this setup, and this will only be a 5 heavy 2 medium setup. The only way you can run this is if you do have heavy Bloodspawn both shoulder and head. So this is kind of a harder way of running it, but if you do have these 2 pieces and you don't want to farm Bone Pirate weapons or shields, then you're in luck. The other way of running this build is achieving 1 weapon of Bone Pirate and 1 shield of Bone Pirate, and running the Fury on the opposite, either shield or one-hand weapon. So this is a fine way of running it. You're still going to be able to get 5-1-1 with this build, and this is basically the second best way of running this setup. Now the reason this is not as good as what you see on screen right here is you're not running the best trait, but this is literally second best in slot. So we are running Infused on this build as our front bar. On this we're running Precise, which is the second best trait in my opinion. So it's not that big of a difference, but Precise is definitely the second best trait on your front bar, guys. So Bloodspawn, you will need at least 1 with this build that you're seeing right here, this setup, and the setup you see in game. You will need at least 1 heavy Bloodspawn head or shoulder, or you're not going to be able to achieve 5 heavy. So with this build, you will need a Precise Fury sword or axe. It doesn't matter what weapon it is since it's sorted board. You don't get any buffs from that. You will need a Precise Fury weapon, a Bone Pirate shield. Divines would be the best, but it doesn't matter. A shield of Fury, and a Bone Pirate weapon. Infused on the back bar would be the best in slot. Alright, now let's jump into the most optimal setup of all the 3 ways of running the build. We are running Bone Pirate jewelry. 2 weapon damage, 1 reduced cost. We are running Fury, chest, hands, legs, and feet. And our 5th piece of Fury is on our shields. I prefer to run Divines on the front bar. This will give us literally 0.6% weapon crit. And I think that's the best just because our weapon crit's really low. But that's like really like min-maxing. Like you really don't need it. You can go Infused or Reinforced, doesn't matter. Back bar. See, the Shields of Fury only drop in like 4 different traits. Infused, Divines, Reinforced, and Nirnhone. Reinforced or Nirnhone's going to be your best bet since it's your back bar. We are running Infused weapons. These are Bone Pirate weapons. It's called Skullmaker. It's a name drop. They're pretty easy to get. You just head over to BANGKORAI, run BLACKHEART Haven on normal, and Bone Pirate weapons, jewelry, shields will all drop on the last boss. These are pretty easy to get. I have 2 of them, and I have actually an extra infused one, so then it's really not hard to get. This is the easiest way to get the build. This is why I'm showing it to you. This is like the most optimal way of getting it. So we're running stamina glyphs on all our armor. We have a heavy Bloodspawn head and a light Bloodspawn shoulder. That's gonna be the best in terms of how much armor rating you're getting. But make sure you have at least 1 Bloodspawn Undaunted piece, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to achieve 5 heavy. So we're running a medium belt here, a light shoulder here, and then we're getting the 5 heavy through the head, chest, hands, legs, and feet. Hopefully I clarified everything. We're running an Oblivion damage on our front bar. That is the best glyph in the game for offensive burst, especially with Infuse, it procs a lot. On the back bar, we're running weapon damage. This is 452 weapon damage as soon as you light attack with your back bar. I tend to do that a lot before I do a complete burst, because not having, like, if you have this, but like if you have this proc, you're gonna hit a lot harder, guys. We are running 64 points into stamina. We are a red guard. We are a vamp for the regen and the damage reduction, and we are running thief because we have to. Thief is really important, even though it did get nerfed this patch. That's why I think the second best in slot is running a precise weapon here, but I honestly think infused is better, but precise is your second best, guys, so definitely go get that. And we are running Dubious Cameron Throne. These are our stats just buffed up with Major Brutality. Remember, we can get more weapon damage and recovery from taking a resource from our Heavy Wrath passive, which is 200 weapon damage. And of course, we have Fury, which is 725 weapon damage. So, fully buffed up, we're sitting around... It's really going to depend how much you're buffed up. If you have your weapon damage glyph, you have Wrath. If you're, it's always going to be around 4.5k weapon damage, I'm pretty sure. Make sure to grab the passes. I do have the passes now, guys, but these are the most important passes to get. I'm just going to pretty much click them so you guys can see which ones I have. Make sure to get this too. I need to get some more skill points, but I'll do that now. And make sure to get medicinal use as well. That really helps. So we're running Reverberating Bash, Heroic Slash, Cutting Dive, Subterranean, Assault, Resolving Vigor, Dawnbreaker, Smiting. Now the way I burst people, there's like 2 different ways I burst. I'm going to show real quick. It's usually a Subterranean, a Cliff Racer, a light attack with my back bar, and then a Heroic Slash or a Dawnbreaker. Now if the person's already about to die and you don't want to waste putting up another Subterranean, you can throw a Cliff Racer, and then light attack, Heroic Slash, Bash, or a light attack Reverb if they're not CC'd, or a Dawnbreaker. You can time a skill with Cutting Dive and Subterranean. These 2 skills can be timed with either a CC, a skill, or an ultimate. Keep that in mind. We're running Ice Fortress, Bullnetch, Shuffle, Shimmering Shield, Soothing Spores, and Healing Thicket. Now, if Healing Thicket ever gets nerfed, it's not going to be a big issue. Honestly, the Sword and Borderhold is a little bit more expensive, but it's super strong too. So those are the skills, guys. We're going to go into the CP now, since we do have more CP this patch. We have 66 in a Warlord, 19 in a Mooncalf, 23 in a Tenacity, 40 in a Tumbling, 72 in a Shadow Ward, 56 in a Master at Arms, 56 in a Mighty, 52 in a Piercing, 56 in a Precise Strikes. If you'd like to put some points in a Bless, go ahead. I don't think you need it though. 72 in an Ironclad, 25 in a Resistant, 56 in a Hardy and Elemental Defender, 11 in a Thick Skin. Make sure you get that in Chain Passive, guys. And that is it for the CP. We are running Speed and Move Pots, Speed, Stamina, Move Pots. These are the best. It's going to give you more time for offensive burst, since you will not be CC'd for about 16 seconds. And so we are not a turtle. We are running the ones that give us speed. You can move a lot faster with these and get a lot get around line of sights a lot quicker, and of course Stam to give us Stam Sustain. Make sure if you do have medicinal use, guys, see this pink buff here, this is my Major Expedition buff. The pot will run out while you still have Major Expedition. You want to let this Major Expedition fall off, and then you want to pot, because if you pot before this ends, you will only get 11 seconds of speed instead of the entire 47 seconds of speed, and you're pretty much going to have a lot of downtime of not having Major Expedition. See, look, there's like about 8 seconds left on here and 10 seconds here, so there's like a 3-second window between. But look what happens if I don't wait. You're supposed to get Major Expedition for like 45 seconds. If you click it now, you'll only get 11 seconds. So make sure you use the pot after the Major Expedition falls off, or you're not gonna get speed, the really long time of uptime of speed. All right, guys, that is the build. It is super powerful. I have some clips coming in. If you guys want to check this out live, I will put my Twitch down below. It's a really powerful solo and small group class. Hope you guys enjoyed this build video. It's been Cody, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.